Hi everyone, Anthony Morganti here. Many of you probably already know that Photoshop is now available inside of ChatGPT. Now, I wasn't planning on doing a video on this, but recently somebody emailed me asking me if I would, so here we are. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use Photoshop inside of ChatGPT. Also, towards the end of the video, I'm going to give you my thoughts on AI and photography. Now, as you can see, I have a browser window open and I'm at chatgpt.com. The cool thing about this is you do not need a paid ChatGPT account in order to use Photoshop inside of it. So if you don't have an account already, go to chatgpt.com and sign up for a free account. Once you do that, the next thing you'll need to do is connect Photoshop to ChatGPT. Another cool thing is you do not need to own Photoshop in order to use Photoshop inside of ChatGPT. But as I mentioned, you do need to connect it. To connect it, go to the lower left-hand corner where your initials are. Click on that and then go to Settings. From Settings, go to Apps, then go to Explore Apps. Now, you should see Photoshop right here on the top left. If you don't, you can search for it in the search bar, or if you go to Productivity, you'll probably find it easier there. You also notice there are a ton of different apps that you can connect to ChatGPT. I want to use Photoshop, so click on that, then click Connect, then click Connect again. And then once it's connected, you'll see at the top it says Adobe Photoshop is now connected. You only have to do this once. Now it's connected, and I could use it inside of ChatGPT. Now, to use it, go to a chat window and then click on this little plus sign and then go down to More, and you'll notice that Photoshop is there. Click on that, and you'll notice it's saying it's right here. So we're using Adobe Photoshop. Now we need to upload an image. Now, here's the thing. It will only work on JPEGs. I've tried uploading RAW files and TIFF files, and when I tell it to do something on those images, it says Adobe hasn't unlocked that functionality yet. So depending on when you're watching this video, you're probably only going to be able to work on JPEGs. So we're going to upload our first JPEG. We'll click on that plus sign again, click on Add Photos and Files. The first one is an Adobe stock file. It's just a woman standing in the street. And we'll open that up inside of my browser here. Now, I want to tell it to do something. So I'm going to say, give this image a vintage look. If you've watched anyone else's videos demonstrating how to use Photoshop inside of ChatGPT, just about everyone has done exactly what I'm doing here. So we're just going to stay with that trend. And it will take some time to do. It is uploading the image to ChatGPT, and then it will come back with a vintage look, hopefully. And then you could tweak it. You'll see once it does it. Now, it's actually coming up with a couple different options. It has the current image right here. And if you click on it, you can see you're making it bigger. This is the current image. Go over here to this right arrow, and here is a sepia-toned image, and you'll see there's controls over here. So I could move the highlight balance, the shadow balance, the contrast. Yes. Then I could change, let's say, the mid-tone. Click on the mid-tone swatch right here, and I could make it more yellow, something like that. Now, that's one option. If I go to the next option, this is just grain, so it's just adding grain. So, that's another option. So what did I mean by vintage? Did I mean a sepia-toned image, or did I mean a grainy image? It gives me both options here, and I could choose one. Sepia one's all right, I guess. But that's one way you could use this Photoshop inside of ChatGPT. But let's try something else. Let's click on the little plus sign. We're going to go up to Add Photos and Files. And this second image is just another stock image. It's a woman kind of looking at the city below. And it's kind of a cool image. I like it. So we're going to open up this one inside of ChatGPT. and I'm going to tell it to change the color of the woman's, I don't know, it's a sweater or a robe. I'm going to write robe. All right. And we'll click this. So then what it's going to do now, again, it's going to upload the image to ChatGPT, and it's going to choose the correct Photoshop tool in order to change the color of her sweater or robe or whatever you might want to call that. And then what it will do, it's going to look like it didn't do anything, but it will have the control there so I could change the color, and you'll see there. So it didn't do anything. It's still the original image. But if I click these, that little slider icon, and it's saying the robe is now isolated, and I could change the hue, and you can see it's doing pretty good, right? I mean, it's okay. So I was able to do that relatively easily. So it's kind of cool. Now, let's go to something maybe a little more difficult. So we'll click the little plus sign again, and we're going to add another photo, and we'll go to this third one. And I have, this is actually a composite. It's a stock image of the woman. But then what I did is I used AI to put a background behind her because I wanted to demonstrate how to blur a background. And I tried this ahead of time, and you'll see, hopefully it will screw up as it screwed up for me. I'm going to write blur the background. You think that would be good, but when I tried that the first time, it actually didn't work, and we'll see. Because sometimes, AI is kind of hit and miss. You'll try it at noon and it doesn't work, and then you try it at 12:03 and suddenly it works. So it's kind of an odd thing. So specifically, it worked fine. What it did before is it was blurring everything but the camera. But here again, it's kind of the weird thing, isn't it? So we could do it. Yeah, it worked pretty good. Click here, make it bigger. And you can see the subject stays flowers, the hills and trees fall away. You probably learned from me uploading this previously, and it learned what the background was. Because the way I fixed it, by the way, my original prompt was exactly as I did, just blur the background. And as I mentioned, it blurred everything but the camera and like the strap and part of her chest. And everything else was blurred. But what I did was, to fix it, is I uploaded it again and I wrote blur the area behind the model. And then it was able to blur it exactly as it does now. So sometimes you're going to have to be a little more precise with your prompt in order to get it to work properly. And I'm kind of bummed that it didn't screw up because I wanted to show you that. But it is what it is. Let's add another one. Let's see. I think we're up to 4. Okay, this one, let's see if this one screws up, because it did screw up for me. I want to change the color of her dress. So change the, or I'm not, let's make it, make the woman's dress blue. All right. And then we'll see what happens. What I found, again, the first time I tried it, is it just selected the entire woman. And when I tried to change the color of her dress, it also changed the color of her skin tone and her hair and so on. So it's not perfect is what I'm getting at. So you can see it doesn't do anything. It says the dress is escalated. You could turn it blue cleanly without affecting scare, hair, or background. Well, hopefully it worked. Again, no, it's affecting her hair and her skin. So it lied. All right. As you can see. So it's not working too well. There. So we'll get rid of that. All right. Now let's try it again. Let's add another photo there. I think we're up to 5, right? All right. This one didn't work either. So change here. Make the doors behind the model blue. Let's stay with blue today. All right. And we'll do that because it's really gray outside my house right now, and I'm dreaming of blue skies. So we'll see if we could make those doors blue. And what it did it affected her skin tone when I tried to do it before. So it's a work in progress, I guess, for lack of a better term, because it's not masking properly when it's doing these. Instead of masking the actual door and excluding the model, it just masked the color of the door, and it included, kind of overlapped on her skin tones, so it was affecting that as well. Now, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't work, because it did blur the background properly behind that model that I did earlier when it didn't work prior to that. But we'll see. As you can see, it takes a while. You do need, of course, an active internet connection to use this. So we'll click on the little gears and we'll do the hue, and you can see it's affecting her skin tone or hat and so on. All right. Now you do have an option while I'm here just to show you. You could open this in Photoshop. Click on Open in Photoshop. It's actually going to take the image and it's going to open up in Photoshop on the web. As I mentioned, you don't need Photoshop installed on your computer. You don't need to own Photoshop, but it will open it up into the web version of Photoshop, and you click on Ready to Open when it's ready. And then you could do some editing here. So maybe you could fix the mask here if you're, good with Photoshop. You could do things. You could paint on the brush or on the mask with a brush here and try to remove it from her. It's probably a better way, but just very quickly. You could come in and fix it is what I'm getting at. There's ways to do it. But here's the kicker. You can't save this and return to ChatGPT. You need to download it, then re-upload the image into ChatGPT. So that's another, I guess, kind of downfall of this. Now, overall, if you're experienced with Photoshop and you own Photoshop, just do it in Photoshop because it's a lot faster and a lot easier. Even if you're just have the basics down in Photoshop, you could do a better job than what ChatGPT can do for you. If you don't own Photoshop, then I guess this is your only option unless you want to try one of those Photoshop clones that are available. A lot of them are free, a lot of web-based things and stuff like that. So you might be better off doing that even than using ChatGPT for it. So this was the reason why I wasn't planning on doing a video on this, because I don't think it's very good and I don't really like it at all. And overall, you probably have a sense, if you watch my videos, you probably have a bad sense of where I am on AI, because I've been doing a lot of videos on AI, all the different AI aspects and AI features that have been added to Photoshop. I've been all over those. I've done tons of videos on those. I've done other AI things that were added to Topaz products like Gigapixel and Photo AI. And I've done recently, yesterday, a video on the new AI assistant that is in Luminar Neo. So I'm doing all these videos on AI, and you probably think this guy's really into AI. The truth is I'm not. I hate it. Most of it. I'd say 90 to 95% of it I don't like. I think that it overall will inhibit creativity. Now, a lot of people say they're claiming that this is going to enhance creativity. This is going to make more people be able to be creative. And I don't agree with that at all. I think it's really going to inhibit creativity. Let me give you an example. I've taught photography for a long time, and one drill or one thing I would give photographers is the challenge to go out with a very simple camera with one lens, one fixed focal length lens, and stand in a spot, and you only could take a picture within 50 steps of that spot with that setup. That enhances creativity because you're forcing that person to be creative with the tools they're limited to. If you use AI, you almost are opening up a box of unlimited tools, and you could have AI be the creative part of it, and you're just kind of giving prompts. And to me, that's I don't want to say cheating, but it's not conducive to the creative person, in my opinion. So that's why I really don't like AI. Now, I know I'm an older guy, and you're probably thinking, But I really do embrace new things. But I just can't get on board with all this different AI stuff that's coming out now for a lot of it. Now, of course, I do videos on it to try to help people with it, but that's my job. With that said, there's a lot of people that disagree with me. If you disagree with me, feel free in the comments. Eric Kim's a pretty well-known photographer. Loves AI. He's thinks it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And he talks about it all the time. He talks about how he pays the $200 a month tier for ChatGPT, which to me is insane. But, he also talks about how rich he is all the time too, so he could afford it. But yeah, it's just not for me. But again, feel free to disagree. If you agree, though, back me up in the comments because it's not something I really like to talk about too much. With that said, that's how you use Photoshop inside of ChatGPT. Talk to you guys soon.